Hello and welcome to my channel We Learn by Sharun. I am Shraddha Banode and we are going to discuss very important terms of synchronous machines. Basically, we are discussing alternator where mechanical energy is converted into electrical energy. In synchronous machine, stator is the stationary part on which armature winding is wounded and rotor is the rotating part on which the field winding is wounded. Let's see the important terminologies which are related to winding. It will consist of conductor, turn, coil side, pole pitch, slot angle. Along with this, we will also discuss full pitch and short pitch coil along with pitch factor. So let's first of all try to understand what is conductor. The part of the coil in which the EMF gets induced is called as conductor. So this two here you can see are nothing but conductors in which the EMF gets induced. These are the active length of the conductor where the EMF is getting induced. Okay, and these are placed in the armature slots. Two conductors, when connected together, it forms a turn. You can see a turn here. Okay, so this is the turn in which this part is the active part of the turn, which is where the EMF gets induced, and this is the inactive part of the turn. Okay, coil. Now, when many turns are joined together, it is called as coil. So, the coil may consist of one turn, like this is the one turn coil, and this is the multi-turn coil. It can consist of many turns as well. So, this is called as multi-turn coil. Coil side. So if this is the coil, then these are the coil sides where the EMF gets induced. Yes, conductors and coil sides are nothing but same where the EMF gets induced. So these are nothing but coil sides. These are also called as coil sides, which are nothing but conductors. Okay, pole pitch. Now what is pole pitch? The distance between two adjacent poles are called as pole pitch. Okay, this is what we discussed before as well. So the pole pitch is nothing but distance between two adjacent poles. Now we know that to get one cycle of the EMF induced, conductor passes two poles, right? So when two poles are there, two poles are responsible for 360-degree electrical of EMF induced, that is one cycle of EMF induced. When there are four poles, one rotation gives you two cycles of EMF induced, one cycle and two cycle. So it consists of 360 into 2, that is 720-degree electrical. So if we say two poles 360-degree electrical, four poles 720-degree electrical, so can I say that for one pole it will be 180-degree electrical? Yes. So one pole is responsible for 180-degree electrical, that is half cycle of the EMF induced. 180-degree electrical is one pole pitch. Please keep this in your mind. 180-degree electrical is one pole pitch. Okay. So exactly when we say pole pitch, it is distance between two poles, it is 180-degree electrical, and also there are some number of slots between those pole pitch. So the number of slots under one pole is responsible for 180-degree electrical. So let's consider an example where there are two poles in the machine, two pole machine is there with the 18 number of slots. Okay. So if there are two poles and 18 number of total slots, so for one pole, how many slots are there? It is 18 by 2, that is 9 slots. So if one pole pitch is there, it is 180-degree electrical, it is the distance between two poles, and it is how many slots per pole? It is 9 slots per pole pitch. Clear? So pole pitch is 9 slots or 180-degree electrical for this particular example. The number of slots per pole is denoted by N. It is always denoted by N. So what is pole pitch? Pole pitch is 180-degree electrical, which is nothing but slots per pole and which is denoted by small n. Clear? Then let's try to understand what is slot angle. So slot angle is nothing but the phasor difference between two adjacent slots in degrees. Okay, in degree electrical, it is called as beta. So I have given one example here. I have have taken this section of stator here, in which I've shown two lines, one both going through the two adjacent slots, and it is coming from the center of the stator. So the angle between these two slots is given by beta degree electrical. It is always given by beta degree electrical. So let's try to find out the value of beta. One slot angle is nothing but beta, which is given by 180 degree electrical divided by the slots per pole. Slots per pole contributes 180 degree electrical. It is denoted by N, and beta is the angle between two slots. So can we say that 180 degree electrical divided by slots in that particular 180 degree electrical pole pitch will give us beta? Yes. So one slot angle is equals to 180 degree upon slots per pole, that is N, gives you beta. For the above example, we know that N is nothing but 18 slots by 2 number of poles, which is 9. So beta will be equals to 180 by N, that is 180 by 9, which is nothing but 20 degree. So for this particular example, the value of beta, which is the angle between two adjacent slots, is 20 degree. Clear? So beta is given by 180 degree divided by N, where N is the number of slots per pole. Very, very important formula to calculate the value of beta. Types of armature winding. Now we are going to see types of armature winding in three different references. The first one is single layer or double layer winding, full pitch or short pitch winding, concentrated and distributed winding. So we have seen the glimpse of full pitch, short pitch winding and concentrated distributed winding in my previous video. If you want, you can go back to previous video and watch it for the clear understanding. Again, we will have the revision of the same here, as well as understand the single layer and double layer winding. So if in one slot it consists of one coil side, then it is called as single layer winding. If one coil side is placed in one slot, it is called as single layer winding. And if two coil sides are placed in the same slot, then it is called as double layer winding. Right? So if one coil side is placed in one slot, then it is called as single layer winding. If two coil sides are placed in one slot, then it is called as double layer winding. Okay, let's proceed and try to understand what is full pitch winding. We know that pitch pole pitch is nothing but distance between two poles. It is given by 180 degree electrical, and the value N is nothing but slots per pole. It indicates how many slots are coming under that 180 degree electrical pole pitch. If the coil sides are so placed that one conductor is placed in one slot and another conductor is kept after one pole pitch away from the first slot, then it is called as full pitch winding, and the coil is said to be full pitch coil. See, this is the example of full pitch winding. The one conductor is placed in front of one pole, and another side of the coil is kept exactly 180 degree apart in front of another pole. Then it is called as full pitch winding. Let's again take the same example. If it is a two pole 18 slot alternator, the pole pitch is given by N, which is 180, which is 18 by 2, that is 9 slots per pole, right? And if the coil side is kept so that the first coil side is kept in slot number 1, another must be kept at slot number 10 after 9 slots at slot number 10. It should not be 9th, it should be 10th slot. Then only it will be a full pitch coil. Okay, then what is short pitch winding, or it is also called as fractional pitch winding? So if the coil side is so kept in the slot that if one coil side is kept in one slot and another coil side is kept in a slot which is not 180 degree apart, which is not one pole pitch but lesser than one pole pitch, then it is called as short pitch winding or short pitch coil. Okay, so for example, if the first coil side is placed in one slot and another coil side is not placed at 10th slot but lesser than that, that is, it is kept at 9th slot or 8th or lesser, then it is called as short pitch winding or short pitch coil. I hope things are clear now. So this is what is coil span. coil span or coil pitch. Okay, coil span is nothing but the distance between two coil sides, or coil pitch is nothing between distance between two coil sides of the coil is called as coil pitch or coil span. If the coil pitch is exactly one pole pitch, that is called as full pitch coil. Like this example, see this example of full pitch coil. The coil span is exactly one pole pitch or 180-degree electrical. But if the coil pitch is less than one pole pitch, the coil is short pitch coil or fractional pitch coil. This is the example of short pitch coil. The coil span is less than 180-degree electrical. Now, why this short pitching is done? Mind you, short pitch is also called as cording. Now, why short pitching is done? Okay, of course, it has certain advantages, and that is why short pitching is done. It is economical. It is sinusoidal. It gives you sinusoidal output waveform. It increases the efficiency of the alternator. How? First, economical. The length of the required end connection is reduced if you short the conductors. How? See, EMF is induced in the conductors. Okay, EMF is not induced in the end connectors. So if you short it, then the length of end connectors are reduced, but length of conductors remains same. So what happens? That reduces copper, which is required for the winding. Winding is made up of copper. Copper is a costly affair. Copper is a costly metal. So it becomes economical or it becomes cheaper if we use less copper. And increasing the weight of copper increases the costing of the machine. Right? So less copper is used in the end connectors and hence, and that is why it is economical. Second point, sinusoidal waveform. Now, when we get the EMF induced in the conductors of the coil, it is sinusoidal, no doubt, but it contains certain high frequency harmonics. To reduce this high frequency harmonics, which distorts the sinusoidal waveform of the EMF, short pitching is done. Okay, it helps in reducing the high frequency harmonics, and that is why we get more sinusoidal waveform of the EMF. Increases efficiency. Now, how it increases efficiency? Eddy current losses and hysteresis losses, which are combinedly called as iron losses, are dependent on frequency. If the high frequency is eliminated, obviously the losses which are responsible for which are coming because of high frequency also gets reduced, minimized, or eliminated. And because of this fact, overall losses gets reduced, and if overall losses gets reduced, overall efficiency gets increases. So it results in giving you good efficiency. So these are the three advantages of short pitching. It has one disadvantage also, and the only disadvantage of this short pitching is that it reduces the overall EMF induced. Well, if E is the EMF induced in one conductor, E is the EMF induced in another conductor, the total EMF you should get is twice E. But if you have shorted pitch, then you don't get twice E, you get slightly less than that. And that depends upon the pitch factor. Now, what is pitch factor? Pitch factor is nothing but the ratio of vector sum to the arithmetic sum of the EMF induced. It is either denoted by Kp, that is pitch factor, or it can be also denoted by Kc, which is nothing but chording factor. In some books, it is referred as chording factor. So let's see what is pitch factor or chording factor. Let's again, we are taking an example here. We have 24 slots alternator with 4 poles in this, and obviously the n, which is slots per pole, is given by 24 by 4, that is 6 slots. So 6 slot is nothing but one pole pitch here, okay, in this particular example. So let's say we are having a coil. If with the first coil, if the first side of the conductor is placed in first slot and second side of the coil is placed in the seventh slot, then it becomes full pitch coil. But we are not taking full pitch coil. What we are doing, instead of keeping it at slot number 7, we will keep it at slot number 6. So we have shorted the coil by one slot. Okay. So the coil span. Now what is the coil span? Coil span is not 180 electrical. Coil span is not one full pole pitch, but coil span is 5 by 6 times the pole pitch. Okay. and it got short, it falls shortened by 1 by 6th of pole pitch. That is one angle, that is beta. Beta is given by 180 by n. 180 by n is giving you 30 degree here, means it is got shorted by 30 degree electrical. Clear? So we'll find out pitch factor. Pitch factor is nothing but the ratio of vector sum to the arithmetic sum. Pitch factor is the ratio of vector sum to the arithmetic sum. So let's see how arithmetic sum can be done. If this is the EMF induced in one conductor of the coil, that is given by ES, and this is the EMF induced in another conductor of the coil, that is again given by ES. So the total EMF that gets induced in that particular coil is given by twice ES. That is the arithmetic sum of the two EMF induced in the same coil. Right? If it is a full pitch coil. Clear? But let's see if it is a shortened pitch coil. If it is a short pitch coil, then we need to find out the vector sum of the two. Before understanding the vector sum, let's try to understand by what angle it gets shorted. So again, I am taking an example of stator here, and let's say that the coil is shorted by one angle, one slot angle. So the angle by which the coil is shorted is given by alpha. The angle by which the coil is shorted is given by alpha. But so are they same? Beta and alpha, are they same or they different? Let's see. What I am saying here, if it is shorted by one slot angle, it is alpha. But it is also possible that coil can be shorted by two slots angle. If the coil is shorted by two slots, then the angle by which it is shorted is again alpha. And if the coil is shorted by three slots, the angle by which it is shorted is given by alpha. So how is this possible? Alpha is changing. So mind you, alpha is the angle by which the coil is shorted. It can be one slot angle, it can be two slot angle, it can be three slot angle, it can be any slot angle. So again, I'll explain you the same thing by comparing alpha and beta. Beta is the angle between two adjacent slots and alpha is the angle by which the coil is shorted. Here coil is shorted by one slot angle, so alpha is same as beta. Here the coil is shorted by two slot angle. It means it is shorted by twice beta. So alpha is equals to twice beta here. And here the coil is shorted by three angles or three slots. If the coil is shorted by three slots, then the alpha is equals to 3 beta here. So now you get the difference between the two. Beta is always the angle between two adjacent slots and alpha is the angle by which the coil is shorted. It can be one slot, it can be two slot, it can be three slot, or it can be any slot that will be given according to given data. So alpha is the short pitch angle, that is angle by which the coil is shorted. It can be one slot angle, two slot angle, etc. Clear? So once we understand that, we know that alpha is the general angle by which the coil is shorted. Now let's see the phasor part of it. If ES is the EMF induced in one conductor and this ES is the EMF induced in another conductor which is displaced by the angle alpha. If alpha is the angle by which the coil is shorted, the EMF will be induced by the distortion of phasor angle alpha. And the total EMF that will be induced in that coil will be phasor sum of this two EMF induced, which is given by ER, that is resultant EMF induced. So what is the vector sum of shorted pitch coil EMF induced? ER. What was the arithmetic sum? Twice ES. So let's get the value of ER. So to understand ER better, let's have the same phasor here. What I'll do, I'll draw a line here from this point on ER so that it will be perpendicular bisecting this ER. Okay, it will be perpendicular bisecting this ER. Now let's try to get the angle of this. If this is the alpha angle, okay, and this is 180 degree, we know, right? And this is the alpha angle. So what is the angle What is the angle these two ES vectors are making? It is making 180 degree minus alpha. It is making 180 degree minus alpha, right? And if this is 180 degree minus alpha and this line is bisecting this angle, so what is the angle this is giving is 90 minus alpha by 2. This is 90 minus alpha by 2. So this is alpha, this is 180 minus alpha, and this is 90 minus alpha by 2. If this is 90 minus alpha by 2 and this is 90 degree, so this angle will be equals to alpha by 2 by the law of triangle, right? So now we will consider this particular triangle. If this is angle alpha by 2 and this is ES, by applying trigonometric expression here, we can get the value of this part of the phasor. This part of the triangle will be equals to ES cos alpha by 2, right? It is ES cos alpha by 2. If this is ES cos alpha by 2, ER is the twice of this value. So if ER is twice of this, ER is given by twice ES cos alpha by 2. So hence we got the expression for ER as twice ES cos alpha by 2. Let's take the ratio. Kp is the vector sum to the arithmetic sum. Vector sum is twice ES cos alpha by 2 and arithmetic sum is twice ES. So we got Kp as cos of alpha by 2. Very important expression Kp to find the value of pitch factor Kp, that is cos alpha by 2, where alpha is the angle by what the coil is shorted. If you like the way I am explaining you electrical machines, please do like my videos and subscribe to my channel. It will motivate me to consider more topics and bring better videos for you. Thank you and happy learning.